6 financial problems you don't know about. If you've grown up in this millennium, you can see how you're stereotyped. For example, you are given nicknames like the selfie-obsessed teenager, your favorite type of coffee, vacations, and the latest smartphones. How about saving some money in the meantime? You may not even know how your income is struggling, or you don't know how to deal with it. We talked to author and social organizer Melissa Brown about some simple money-saving tips to help us become financially savvy. Here are their suggestions. Melissa Brown says that controlling your money is difficult but not impossible. 1. Competing with your peers. The trouble today is that people like you don't just live in the neighborhood, they're also influencers on social networking sites who you've never met but apparently have some serious stuff going on. The Kim Kardashians are social media influencers whose lifestyles people keep a close eye on. We live in a society where there is always competition somewhere, someone or the other, and people judge us against those who show their lives on social media, but fail to show anything real. What is the solution? Unfriend and unfollow people and find people who inspire you beyond shopping, etc. 2. Spending 24/7. There was a time when you shopped only during business hours from Monday to Friday, or if it was too much, you shopped late into the evening on Saturday, Sunday. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel so that every incoming information can reach you. Shopping on a website like Amazon has become very easy and you can buy things anytime with a click. But now you can spend money anytime from your mobile phone. Like when you got bored watching a movie on Netflix on Friday night, you went shopping online. Set limits on your shopping hours to curb your ability to shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This means that if you decide to spend at a certain part of the day, you won't risk spending money if you get bored while watching TV. Research has found that people don't think of their credit cards as money, so they overspend. 3. Easily available loans. This is not limited to credit cards, but there are also facilities available where you can take a payday loan, or buy now pay later, where you buy things with a repayment obligation. Avert immediately. Research has shown that we spend more than usual on credit cards, at least 10% more, because we don't see the credit card as our money. If you have more than one credit card and you don't pay your card bill every month, or you pay your card bill every month from your savings, then make a strong decision not to use a credit card. Close your card and use your old debit card instead. Know the use of your money, and that is important. 4. Paralyzed by analysis. There are so many varieties and grades of food these days that it has become extremely difficult to decide. Whether you're a vegan or a vegetarian, choose high carb versus low carb, high fat or low fat, organic or just fresh fruit. It's no wonder then that we get confused about food choices. The same is true with our money. How to save money and how to spend money. There is so much information about it that we throw up our hands that it is very difficult to make a decision. Living by design gives us more control over our money. This is why it is important for us to take care of the basics. It is important for us to study and understand our spending patterns and our purpose in life. Once we do this, we can set our costs accordingly. 5. Living life as it is. Too many of us get on with life and one day, usually in our 30s or 40s, are forced to ask ourselves, how did I end up in this situation? Instead, consider becoming a savvy consumer and living life with a purpose. Ask yourself what it would be like if we decided the life we wanted. By being mindful of money, we keep a check on our unnecessary spending and spending habits. And then consider what you need to do today to achieve it. Set a goal of 30 days to put a stop to your usual spending or savings, to reorganize your normal habits and focus only on your basic needs. Living paycheck to paycheck affects our long-term goals. 6. We are salary slaves. Most of us have a single source of income from which we spend most of our money from payday to payday. Instead, Make different meads so that you don't eat from one big bowl but from several small bowls. Keeping money in different periods makes us more conscious about our spending. It may have a section for daily expenses, a separate section for bills, a section for savings, a section for wasteful spending, etc. Divide your income into these amounts and then spend only within your fixed daily amount. Or look for other sources of income, which can be a casual job, part-time job, investment or property, and others. Who is the woman who bought £16 million from Hertz? Hertz is one of the most expensive and luxurious shops in London. The woman who was trying to save her £11.5 million London home has been named as the first target of new anti-corruption laws in the UK. Samira Hajieva is from Azerbaijan. She lost a legal battle to withhold her name because the media insisted that the British public should know the full facts. Mrs. Hajieva is the wife of a government banker from Azerbaijan and has spent £16 million over 10 years at London-based store Hertz. They also bought a house near the store in a golf course in Berkshire. The High Court ordered him to explain where he got such wealth from. If they fail to disclose this source, their property is at risk of being confiscated. Under the UK's new Unexplained Wealth Order law, 55-year-old Mrs. Hajieva now has to provide the National Crime Agency with clear details of what she and her husband Jahangir Hajieva have done. How to buy such a big house near the expensive area of London Knightsbridge. Mrs. Hajieva's lawyers say the new law does not mean that her client or her husband has done anything wrong. He has also sought permission to appeal against this law. What does the new law say? The law aims to target suspected corrupt foreign officials who may have laundered money through the UK. The National Crime Agency's investigative team believes that billions of pounds of UK property have been bought with corruption money, but the lack of evidence makes it almost impossible to prosecute the owners or seize the assets. According to the new law, such owners will have to disclose the source of their wealth. If a corrupt foreign official or his family cannot provide a legitimate source of wealth, the National Crime Agency can apply to the High Court to confiscate such assets. Which couple is at the center of this first act? Jahangir Hajieva is the former chairman of the International Bank of Azerbaijan. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison in 2016 for fraud and embezzlement and the disappearance of several £million from the bank. The judges also ordered him to pay $39 million in fines. 7 years ago, a company based in the British Virgin Islands paid £11.5 million to buy a large house in London, a stone's throw from Hertz store. The High Court was told that the property was owned by Mrs. Hajieva and her husband. In 2013, another company owned by Mrs. Hajieva spent more than £10 million to buy Millride Golf Club in Berkshire. It should be noted that the British Home Office had allowed the couple to stay in the UK under the visa scheme for wealthy investors. How much money did the couple bring to Britain? In July, the High Court was told at a hearing that Mrs. Hajieva had a lot of wealth. He spent over £16 million on Hertz over a 10-year period, which works out to £4,000 a day. According to the details presented in the court, he spent £1.5 million in one day on the purchase of expensive jewelry, perfumes and watches. The next day he bought £1,800 worth of wine, while on another occasion he spent £100,000 on Cartier jewelry and £20,000 on menswear. Mrs. Hajieva used 35 credit cards and 3 store cards issued by her husband's bank. According to official records, the couple also owned 2 parking lots in the Hertz designated car park, while Mrs. Hajieva bought a private jet worth $42 million. Did Mrs. Hajieva admit that she did something wrong? No. He maintains that he is innocent and has sought to challenge the charges against him under an inexplicable wealth order imposed in February. Mrs. Hajieva's lawyers told the High Court that injustice is being done to their client and her husband. Jahangir Haji Eva denied defrauding his bank but unsuccessfully appealed against his conviction. His lawyers say that Azerbaijan's corrupt ruling family is angry with him for paying the price. Jahangir Haji Eva has asked the European Court of Human Rights to intervene in his case. Mrs. Haji Eva said in her case at the High Court that her husband was a legitimate businessman and had already become very rich before becoming chairman of the bank. But the National Crime Agency told the court that Jahangir Haji Eva was a civil servant from 1993 to 2015, and as a civil servant he did not have the means to amass such wealth.